We got Mark Grandin. I think this is a joke. It's not. Billboard breakdown. Hot 100. February 17th, 2024. We got Bandit, Turn the Lights Back On, Get In With Me. I actually went out of my way to check these songs out. I knew Bandit was the Don Toliver one with the sample, I think Tame Impala or something. I don't fucking know what the sample is. And the other songs I could care less about. Let's get into it.
Hey there, I'm Mark, in affiliation with Spectrum Pulse, and what do you know, we got a cool down week. Shame very little of it's good, and it's Billboard Breakdown.
Shout out to the people who watch these Billboard breakdown videos. They get less
wind up
views,
more
but you know I'm still
eventful
gonna
than
react to
it
them
is.
because I love
Granted,
Billboard
there's some
breakdown.
post-Grammys aftermath, and with Universal escalating its Cold War with TikTok by yanking its catalog off the platform and delaying major album release dates to protect their promotional bottom line, there was gonna be a slowdown, and frankly, I'm not sure who caves in first in this scenario. But in the meantime, let me put it like this. I prefer some brand of normalcy compared to what's likely coming in a week or two. If
What's
you're familiar
coming in a
with
week
the,
or two?
you know what, blitzkrieg is the appropriate word here for what music critics are already facing. You already know.
Well, beautiful things. Blitzkrieg. What is that? What, the Yeet album? No, I'm kidding. Wait, what is he talking about? I actually don't know what he's talking about.
Shame this week in the meantime wasn't any good, but we'll get to
Wait,
that.
am I
So
crazy?
familiar with the, you know what, blitzkrieg is the appropriate word here
Blitzkrieg.
for what music critics are already
What is that?
facing. You already know. Shame this week in the meantime wasn't
Wait,
any good, but
what?
we'll get to that. But again, before then, let's get to our top 10, where as
Kanye. Oh, why did it take me that long to figure that out? Oh my goodness, bro. Holy fuck. Why did it take me so long? Bro, Kanye. Oh my god. I still haven't listened to that album. Honestly, I have no interest in listening to that album. I cannot lie. Even though I did listen to Donda when it came out, I immediately listened to that bit. But yeah, this new stuff, not really. It's not even because he's a fucking Nazi. I just couldn't care less about his music. I haven't really cared much about his music. I don't really care about Kanye's music, honestly. I don't think any of it's really that good. I don't even like his old stuff. Well, okay, that is going a bit far. I do like a lot of his old stuff. But I just personally don't really listen to Kanye ever, really. Never, ever. His music, he has some pretty good songs, but like none that I would listen to every day. You know what I'm saying? So this new album, I could care less. I could give less of a fuck. I don't even give a fuck if he's a Nazi. I'm not listening to that shit.
As I predicted,
Jesus.
Lovin' On Me by Jack Harlow is back again at number 1. Again, it's not surprising. Streaming might have taken a slight dip, but his radio margin is so strong that it barely matters. Again, shame the song's not good. And to be honest, I don't think Lose Control by Teddy Swims is set to topple him soon from number 2.
Anyway, like I said, does anyone know what the song
The
is?
streaming's only decent, but the radio
That's crazy.
margin is so wide, I don't see him making a serious
I
play, at
lose
least not yet.
control.
What might have a better shot, and man, I'm not happy about it, is Beautiful Things by Benson Boone up to number 3. The radio has been very slow to get on board, which is what happens when you don't have big name recognition and your song sounds like shit. But he took the top spot on streaming, and oh, good lord, can we not have a repeat of Lucas Graham nearly getting to the top in 2024? I feel like that might be a bad omen. But it got over Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift at number 4, which had an okay week on streaming, but is absolutely on its way out on the radio. It's getting dumped there. That's not quite the case for Snooze by SZA at number 5. Thank the
Song
Grammys
really
for a bump,
spoke to me.
especially on streaming, which vaulted it back up this high. And right over I Remember Everything.
Look, that song
by
was fire
Jack
back
Ryan
then.
and Casey
I can't
Musgraves
even
at
lie.
number 6, where the
At least for
streaming
me.
is still
I'm
rock
16, so
solid,
it's like a
but the
childhood
radio
song,
is just
really.
never given it a proper chance.
It's a funny
Glaring at
song.
you right now, Music Row. You could have gotten on
The song
this
should be
months
out. I
ago.
don't
It
care
did
about
hold
Zach
over
Bryan. I'm not
Greedy
gonna
by
lie. I'm
Tate
done
McRae
with
down
Zach
at number 7.
Take it
Okay,
easy.
streaming week balanced out on the rotation out on radio. Then the second rebound into the top 10 thanks to the Grammys and a streaming boost. Fast Car by Luke.
Performance was awesome.
Great.
With Tracy
Not
Chapman.
the only time this song will come up. We'll get to it. And that jumped over Agora Hills by Doja Cat at number 9.
Yeah, I gotta chill out, bro. I got too much energy.
I'll
I'll do way too much.
Not get streaming going at all. And that's in contrast to yet another Grammy bump for Flowers by Miley Cyrus, putting it back at number 10 because we just can't get rid of it, and I'm long sick of it.
That's
that takes us neatly to our losers and dropouts, which in the latter category, not really anything worth mentioning, which is more of a barb than I think needs saying, but enough of me being cute.
It flows more of a barb. What is a barb? Isn't that like barbed wire?
Stallion falling back out of the top 10 to 13.
As
and again,
expected.
This isn't a surprise. I called this. It's a great song.
Where's Bigfoot?
But it's a diss track. It's got
Where is
no hook.
Bigfoot, guys?
I'm frankly shocked that it's
Wait,
stuck
can we find
around
Bigfoot on the
this
charts?
high compared to its competition, which let's just say didn't stay on the Hot 100 at all. But also on the topic of debuts losing, we had Spin You Around 124 by Morgan Wallen, fall back to 51, and Think You the Shit Fart by Ice Spice at 52. And the categories of continued losers, we still got 21 Savage with All of Me at 88, NHIE with Doja Cat at 89, and Should Have Worn a Bonnet with Brent Fayez at 90. There are a couple other continued losses here. Igual Que Un Angel by Kali Uchis and Pesa Pluma at 53, and FTC
Song's doing pretty good, actually.
54.
I'm glad Kali is getting kind of a hit a little bit.
At 77, which is probably going to make the year-end list, but it seems like it's just done
way
less than one might have expected.
It's
at least
year-end
stateside.
list.
Now this takes us naturally to returns and games.
I forgot because the year-end list ended in October.
No, it ends by Bailey Zimmerman climbing back to 100, and Sensational by Chris Brown, DeVito, and Loj at 94. The real story is the big return of Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. Yeah, you can thank the Grammys for this, but in all due seriousness, to ride out some
it'd be funny if this
sales,
became a year-end
happy the original
hit. I mean,
getting another chance to shine at 42.
2 Fast Cars.
If it's just for a week. That's a great thing. It's a classic
Is Fast Car
song.
going to
But
be
we
in
did have a
year-end
lot of
this year?
gains, and while I've already mentioned a couple thanks to the Grammys, there was a bunch more. What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish at 20. Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo at 29. On My Mama by Victoria Monet at 33. I guess I'll put the 2 Travis Scott gains in here, with Theme with Playboy Cardi at
Who is Killer Mike?
and My Eyes at 85. Outside of those, kind of a weird
who the hell is Killer Mike?
By Cody Johnson's
who knows?
30. X's by Tate McRae's
getting
the radio push at 34.
It's actually funny. I'm like kind of a centrist on the Killer Mike situation. You know, like at the same time, you know, like he's an old dude or something, so like, you know, respects him. He influenced people. I didn't know who the hell he was. I can't lie to you. And honestly, I wouldn't have cared who won because the Grammys are the Grammys. Who gives a fuck? Honestly. Who cares if Travis was robbed or wasn't? Genuinely, who cares?
Pickups off last week debuts that
Travis is a millionaire. He'll be okay.
First is One Call by Rich Miri at 64. Apparently, streaming's really picking up. Then there's Praise Ya in the Moonlight by YG Marley at 60. Look, I know it's a worldwide hit. I should not be surprised, but the streaming is there for this too. On name recognition and pedigree alone, I can imagine it making a run. Would not surprise me. Really wish I liked it more. But from there, we got a pretty reasonable list of new arrivals. Might actually help keep this episode a bit shorter. So let's start off with...
fucking Google. What the hell?
Number 98.
Telemundo, what are you doing?
Start
what was that?
By Michael Marcheghi.
Guys, that Anthony Fantano fit. What is that? Am I crazy? Guys, that Anthony Fantano type fit. What is that? Am I crazy? That looks like an Anthony Fantano sweater.
Songwriters that chart from out of nowhere with a boost from TikTok. It's interesting when you start digging a little bit. So enter Michael Marcheghi, who is signed to Warner.
Michael? Killer Mike?
Recording 1 EP with 5 songs, 9 million monthly listeners on Spotify. That tells me someone went big time viral or got playlisted. And it's not hard to see why. Marcheghi's clearly chasing Noah Kahan with his vocal tone, the softer guitars balanced against the pianos, no tangible groove to speak of, and a choral sing-along hook that with all the reverb drenching this mix sounds like something that would have dropped in the early 2010s and would have been promptly forgotten. If I would have put a timeline on it, I'd say late 2013, early 2014. I guess if there's something to recommend, it's It's the challenge inherent in the hook. Are you scared to give this heartbroken girl a proper chance given the ups and downs likely ahead? But the larger issue is that the song just cannot build any momentum, make that actual adventure on the horizon come to the forefront. So the song becomes pretty much a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's scared to start. Look, I probably have more time for this sound than I probably should at this point, and this guy does not annoy me as much as Noah Khan.
Wait,
can,
how is
but
Laufey?
It's not that interesting.
How is Laufey
or
not
special.
charted? I'm actually mad
Let's
about that.
move on. Number 87, A Cold Sunday by Lil Yachty.
Not bad. I'll listen to it. It's not bad. It's a little short.
Maybe it's expecting too much for Lil Yachty to continuing going into
You know,
that
I'm actually
psychedelic
surprised he's
pop
getting like these little low end hits. Not hits. He's not getting hits, but he's getting little charters. You know, with his the one song he had with J. Cole. And, you know, charted a little bit with the Black Seminole back then. He's doing this with a little respect. You know, he's doing his thing. You know, he's doing his thing.
I saw him live last year at a music festival. His bangers got a way better reception from the crowds than any of the more interesting experimentation, which had to be depressing as hell for him. And it's probably why an extended verse that he dropped on TikTok was built more for chart crossover. But you know, to his credit, this actually does feel like a middle ground, with an old 60s R&B sample flip for some more textured and lo-fi percussion. It's a much more relaxed instrumental, and I actually really like it. Shame that it's Lil Yachty on top of it. I've never thought his flow was all that good. He really struggles to get in the pocket well here, and the content's a bunch of girl troubles and brand name porn. What feels most consistent is the assertion that Lil Yachty is grown up, and he wants respect more than anything. And you know what, sure, this sort of mature backdrop, it is a way to get it from a lot of rap fans, but all we got here was a verse that feels like a throwaway on a song that's not even 2 minutes long. It's certainly listenable on production alone. I just wish there was
just
more
a little
to
chill
it.
song. It's a
Number
little chill
68,
song.
Get In With Me by Bossman D-Lo.
Pair of shoes, $12.50. You wanna boss up your life? All you gotta do is get in with me. I don't even pay to get in the club. They know I'm a walking ticket.
This is another case of a relatively
walking
obscure
ticket.
rapper getting a massive viral boost off
walking
of one
ticket.
song. But at least for Bossman D-Lo, there's a little bit more to discuss. He's a Florida rapper. He put out 2 albums last year that got him signed to Alamo, and this is a short single that's not tied to either album. And I mean, with that bass clipping around the mix, around the cheap trap percussion, the hazy synth and piano, and Bossman D-Lo having some tangible swagger, I do get why some folks will get on board, especially for a live show.
Sounds like a
But
lot
as
of
rapper,
other
I'm not
shit
really
I've heard.
impressed. His flow is barely on beat, the flexing is box standard, and midway through the one verse, he defaults to an even
One
more
verse?
basic flow that makes the entire 2-minute track feel
TikTok has
basically
doomed us.
unfinished. At least with Lil Yachty, I liked more of the sample and production. This did not get there for me. Not a fan.
Mid.
Number 62, Turn the Lights Back On by Billy Joel.
As we're laying in the darkness, did I wait too long to turn the lights back on?
I don't know what the general popular consensus is around Billy Joel anymore. He's got more than enough hits, and as a legacy act, he's got staying power with Middle America. I guess I shouldn't be that surprised that his first solo single since 1993 would chart decently well. And given that I don't think I've ever spoken publicly on my thoughts, I think his piano rock has its wild and weird ups and downs, but he's got a healthy stack of
I've heard
classics,
of
and
Billy
his
Joel,
gift
but
for
I've
melody
never
has
heard
kept more
Billy
than a
Joel.
few songs in my regular rotation. That being said, I had heard the comeback single was pretty rough, so I was not looking forward to this, and yeah, honestly, I'm kind of mixed as a whole, mostly because the subtext of being a letter to old fans to reopen up his career, it did some heavy lifting emotionally.
How
at least
old
for
is he?
me. He's good at structuring.
He's
up
like
a lot of
75
hooks
now,
here,
no?
and the sentiment feels decently realized. But dig even a little bit deeper, and I can recognize just how much of this is pulling on my nostalgia to cover up some major issues.
That's what a lot of
execution.
legacy acts
Specifically
do.
the
When they try to
vocal
come
mix,
back,
which
they're doing
feels
like
weirdly
nostalgia bait.
flat as he starts belting.
That's all they
But
have.
sort of touch-ups to sound more grand
Honestly.
in the mix as the strings and drums come in, but they also feel hemmed in and underpowered, and it feels a little bit too tasteful. Reminds me a lot of Broadway cast album mixes where the budget restrictions are a lot
Broadway
more
cast
obvious than they
album
should be.
mixes,
But
that
this
is
Billy
insane.
Joel. That should not be a factor with your big comeback. I'll be honest, I was very negative on this song the first couple times I heard it. Very, what is this schlock? You're better than this, Billy Joel. And I mean, I still don't think it's particularly good, but It's not that bad. I guess if you're gonna wait so long to turn those lights back on, song should be worth it. All I'm saying. And finally, number 38, Bandit by Don Toliver.
Like it's Marilyn Manson. Got the cash advancing. Give it Sprite and enhance it. Pull the walk out the pantry.
Okay, so this week's been thoroughly mediocre. I guess I'm praying that Don Toliver, of all people, might be able to save it with a lead-off single for his next album. It's reportedly a sequel to his 2021 project. So it's just our luck that I don't think this is good at all. That painfully canned melody where any individual instrument feels crushed into mush. It's probably a guitar, given that the song is sampling and then chipmunking Tame Impala around the cheap trap
Tame
percussion
Impala.
of this mix that's wildly overcompressed and has some truly gruesome vocal mixing.
I said gruesome. That is insane. This guy, bro.
His melodic strengths as a
Gruesome is absolutely insane. This guy
singer,
said
and he
gruesome.
sounds awful on that.
That is an
intro. And
insane
he's trying to
thing.
sell intensity.
Holy fuck.
He's trying to play up the Travis Scott-esque debauchery, which
Yeah,
has
he
to be
is.
the only reason he referenced Marilyn Manson on his hook, alongside the women who take perks like Plan B. Yikes. But the production just gives him no explosive power outside of him yelling, "Bust it!" So the entire track feels painfully flat. And look, I get why Don Toliver might have made this. I'm sure it's going to work at a festival, but it's not at all what I want to hear from him. I cannot recommend this at all. And yeah,
Damn.
this week was not good. Bandit by Don Toliver is getting the worst easily. But the best, you know what? I think it's kind of a toss-up between Lil Yachty and Billy Joel. But I think Billy Joel might have the
That's so
slightest
funny. That's so fun. It's a toss-up between Billy Joel and Lil Yachty.
edge
That is an
on
insane
song
statement.
construction and
Like, out of
decent
context,
enough
that is an
lyrics and
insane
songwriting.
statement.
It's a lot more narrow than many would admit or expect. But hey, it's probably going to get much, much worse next week. Stay tuned for that. But until then, I'm Mark. You're
Actually,
watching
I asked him
Billboard
on Twitter.
Breakdown,
The
affiliated
GOAT actually
with
responded.
Pulse.
I
And
asked
I'll
him
see you next time.
because he said he wasn't gonna review Vultures, which obviously I didn't give really give a fuck about because I haven't listened to the album. I don't really care. But I asked him, is he gonna review the songs that come up on Billboard Breakdown? Because Carnival by Kanye West is hitting the top. It is predicted to hit the top 3, which is insane for me because I didn't actually. I was predicting he wouldn't even make top 5, let alone top 10. I didn't think he'd chart that high, but I guess Carnival has been doing absolutely insane numbers. Wait, let me see. Yeah, at 5 million global is genuinely insane. I didn't expect Kanye to do all that, but I guess he kind of pulled through. Yeah, his numbers are fucking insane right now. I don't know why I didn't expect him to do that good. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's because the feeling of the album is, it felt like there's a lot less hype. I don't know. With Donda, it felt like there was more hype, but Vultures, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, it'll be very interesting. I don't know if he's gonna review the songs this week. I mean, I hope he does. I mean, honestly, I just want to see him tear in. Honestly, I know this is kind of dickish, but I just want to see him go absolutely crazy. Just go absolutely insane. Like, genuinely, because, bro, the Kanye discourse on Twitter has been the most sickening thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Honestly, with the Anthony Fantano stuff and about his divorced wife, like, bro, I was bringing that up. Like, bro, Kanye stans are truly fucking toxic, which is very sad. Because they have no life. I mean, I don't have a life, but they have less of a life. Let's be honest. I don't know. I feel like Anthony Fantano is very lose. People have said this, but it's definitely a very lose situation for him. If he doesn't review the album, people are gonna hate on him. If he did review the album, people would also hate on him, which it kind of sucks to be in a situation like that. So where he couldn't even get to a middle ground because he's still getting hate from Kanye fans. A lot of hate. I think honestly, if he just said he wasn't gonna review the album, he would get a lot less hate instead of making that 7-minute video that he did. Which I thought it was a very good detailed explanation on why he wasn't gonna, review the album because he's a fucking Nazi. I mean, I think that's a pretty good argument. I think that's a pretty good argument to not want to review someone's album. But yeah, it's very interesting to see the discourse on it. My thoughts, I just don't care. End of the day, I just don't care. Do not care. Could care less. I am a Drake fan more than a Kanye fan, which is sad to say, honestly. I'd rather listen to Drake than Kanye. Yep. I'd rather listen to... Oh, no, I was going to say I'd rather listen to Taylor Swift, but I don't know about that. I don't know about all that. It might be a little bit too torturous. Yeah, anyway. Pretty good video. Pretty good little small video from Mark Grandin, the GOAT. Yeah, go follow Spectrum Pulse on all platforms. Go subscribe to Billboard Breakdown. Go like the video I just reacted to in the description below. And thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you want to. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers so I can get monetized, so I can fuel my Subway addiction. Yes, I love Subway and Firehouse subs. Jersey Mike's, all right, I guess they're okay. But yeah, all right, thank you for watching. Thank you. I love you.